From the river to the sea?
Yes.
Okay, which river, which sea?
The Sea of...
So you don't know that? No. The answer was the Mediterranean and the Jordan. What does Hamas say their number one goal is according to their charter?
They just wanted to free Palestine.
It's to murder all Jews around the world. How many years did Israel occupy Gaza?
Late 1800s, the entire time.
Since 48.
It was actually under Egyptian control for the first 20 or so years, and then Israel actually left Gaza in 2006.
I'm shocked.
Wait, they left?
What is the definition of Zionism?
Doesn't that mean you hate Palestinians, right?
Jewish people who think that Judaism is the highest race.
Zionism actually just means that you think Jews are entitled to having their own homeland to protect themselves from another Holocaust. You don't even have to be Jewish. That makes you a Zionist.
Okay.
What does Intifada revolution mean?
I don't know what that
What a
means.
phenomenal video.
Look,
Like a global
I'm not a
call
real
to murder
adult.
Jews.
I'm an
Wow.
education major.
Wow.
Like,
Did you know
don't
that?
ask me real questions.
Isn't that hilarious?
It's genuinely
That was her.
infuriating.
That was her.
As someone who loves history and praises history for its mistakes and its flaws and everything that you can learn from history.
I somehow doubt how much of a history buff you are when you think that the Israel-Palestine conflict has been going on for millennia.
It's been going on for years because you're going back to Mesopotamia. You're going back to when Jerusalem was
1527.
I
founded.
think he's just saying how long of a history Jews have of being prosecuted.
Because that's just a
But again,
genuine.
it would be improper
We're just
to be.
persecuted, Brandon.
It would be improper to say that would be Israel. It would just be Jews.
So
Like you're
the-
talking about a country that has persecuted Jews
Israel
for
was
fucking years.
kind of somewhat dissolved as a country because the Romans got salty about some femboy dying.
Yeah, but just don't worry about the Romans and their literally. When I say this,
it's in the
I
works
say
of
this lightly.
Josephus.
Their conservative ways of thinking. The Romans.
This video had just proven that all these people are parrots. They have no idea. They are, again, I say this all the time when some liberal opens their, not you specifically, but you're getting
Right.
close, opens their stupid fucking mouth, is that they prove why the Electoral College still needs to be a thing.
Yeah, but that's like, isn't it crazy how like you have people like me, people like you, people like Marcus, people like Walker. Like we're not in college. Like you have individuals who are not in college, and you have people who are in college, and you literally dedicate your whole life to learning.
And
dedicate your life to like aspiring for a
the
certain major.
richest, most successful, most like the best people that I've personally met in my entire life have almost zero college or educational degree
But how
and
do
have
you-
gone through just working.
How do you devote years
and
of
living
college
life
and
and actually
almost
just-
know super little? Like you're a fucking moron.
Yeah,
How
these people are
ignorant are
stupid.
you? How ignorant are you?
It is, you know, there are people to blame for the situation that we're in, and it's Republicans. They have let this happen. They have let media get grossly and grossly farther and farther left. They have let colleges and universities and schools become as liberal as they come. Republicans have just only now seemed to kind of be getting the idea, a little tiny hint of why they should be more active and use their political power to do what they need to do. It's Republicans' fault. It's their fault that we let this happen, that we let this kind of, again, you heard that note of how many of America's foreign adversaries have donated to colleges and universities across the nation. $6 billion. China, the nation, just giving and handing over money to a university. Does that kind of fucking tell you something about what's coming out of these
these
cesspools?
To me, it doesn't tell me anything. But the way I like to perceive this, right, and it's mostly through the pro-Palestinian views, right? How, as a college student, right, you learn all these things, and you learn how the historical aspects of everything is, and that's mostly like the centuries of conflict between Israel and Palestine. How do you not realize that Hamas is taking advantage of your lack of knowledge, your level of ignorance, and using it as a weapon against America itself? You don't realize that social media as a whole, is a weapon. Words are weapons. Martin Luther King said it best himself. Words are weapons, right? These weapons are being used against your own government. Hamas is using the youth, today's generation's ignorance, as a weapon to be able to
it's
pass
the same thing as like
ideology.
in the 1960s with the communists using people in in university to complain about what's going on in Vietnam or anything else.
Yeah, that's actually a really good
The
argument.
primary motive
It's a
of
great
like
argument.
communism and shit was to take over the schools,
That's a great argument. Yeah,
indoctrinate them early.
it's a great argument.
I sent Walker a picture because this is an example of some of the terrorist propaganda.
Deceptive imagery.
Yes, that is going around so that way these terrorists can make it seem like they're getting the one up on United States and their destroyers. So the caption of this Twitter or X post says that Yemen Houthi forces score a direct hit in U.S. destroyer Mason. This is all because Biden decided to build a port in Gaza to help Israel genocide Palestine. If you look closely at the fucking photo, it's not the U.S. Mason. This is This is from a fucking training exercise where they were destroying like an old Mexican ship.
It looks like it's a very small warship, so like a corvette size, and it's not the same class as the USS Mason. If you're autistic enough that any picture like this just immediately sets off your propaganda alarms.
It's exactly what it did. It's like, oh yeah, it's natural for them to just have GoPros
like
on the bow.
AI generated, like if you put the AI prompt hot female, hot Arab female into it,
it's going to give you the profile
like there's
picture.
no way that's a real person.
Yeah, no.
That partisan girl, Syrian girl,
Yeah, no.
like it's just...
It's all full of terrorist
it's
propaganda.
something that Hayes would believe.
Yeah. No, yeah, there's been no... I mean, the destroyer, the U.S. destroyer Mason, the U.S. Mason, USS Mason, did get into a bit of a scrap, but that was like early 2000s.
Isn't it an Arleigh Burke?
Yes, it's an Arleigh Burke class destroyer.
Yeah.
And no, I don't know a thing. No reports of anything hitting our fucking ships over there. Yeah, try again. Sorry,
well,
your
that's
stupid
definitely
propaganda.
Not an Arleigh Burke class in the photo. And then at the same time, you'd have to ask, why is there a camera? Like
Exactly.
An
You know what we do? You know
the
the only time we do that is when we're doing like training exercises, missile tests, where we're trying to test stuff. And that's when you get images like this. Like, again, this is what Oscar was saying, where you rely on people's ignorance and you just feed them shit and they just go, oh, this is where I get all my news, so it must be true. And so in some poor idiot's eyes, U.S. troops are dying. Well, actually, it's not sad to them. They would be cheering and rejoicing. It's like, yay, they're winning.
My father-in-law unironically believes this.
Yeah.
So when so me being liberal as I am, there was a point in time when being liberal had a sense of pride, and there was a belief system that you had in, right? And
you're as good a liberal as you are a Catholic.
It's
so
something that has
classical liberalism is dead and gone.
Yeah, right.
And libertarianism was the idea of exactly kind of what it sounds like, liberty, rights and shit. And they have bastardized it, and they've moved the window further and further left, where we're at now. And now, so like the people of Republicans of 60 years ago are like
Hitler.
What I'm yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that if we were to look at the window and compare, Republicans today are the liberals of 30 or 40 years ago. And it's been such a rapid just haul to the left and because Republicans are Republicans, they just concede, and they concede, like in the discussion of transing kids, right? The left goes, we should be able to trans 2-year-olds.
No.
Republicans
no.
Republicans go, whoa, that's crazy. And they go, what about 8-year-olds? Like, well, that's better. And then they concede. That's how they concede. Instead of being like,
there shouldn't be a form of conceding.
We just need to go back to the 50s where you can report a communist to your local democracy.
No, that's just as bad. So obviously, when we talk about pro-Palestinians, these protesters
I'm ready for managed democracy.
These protesters have gone beyond links that I can't even imagine. Like you'll be in a court hearing or like a testifying hearing, and we have Anthony Blinken, right, who's testifying to the court that he's funding the Israeli support, right? And we have
another thing
the
this
protesters.
Brought up, and I am sorry. I'm somewhat sorry to cut off Morjon here.
It's okay.
Why is the Trump trial not a part of our cut sheet for this podcast?
Oh, that is
a good question.
One of the biggest political happenings on the political podcast.
We are getting into that. I didn't write on the cut sheet. That was on my separate notes.
Sorry. I'm
no,
sorry,
you're
Morgan,
fine. No,
you just-
thank you. You need to
Yeah,
remind
yeah,
me because
no,
honestly,
no.
if it's not on the cut sheet, I'll fucking forget. So
Yeah.
My thoughts,
no,
then
thank
they'll
you.
be gone forever.
Thank you. You could continue, Oscar. Go ahead.
But when we talk about the protesters, in a sense, they've gotten more radical. So we're talking about Palestinian supporters who are blatantly staining their hands red and raising it in the courtroom, saying as if their blood's on your hands.
Yeah.
Like, we have Anthony Blinken, who's a senator who's supporting the funding for Israel.
It is
Like, he is not directly causing the deaths of innocent Palestinians. We're talking
you
about
also compare what these people know. They have no idea that Hamas or Palestine isn't a real fucking country at all.
but that's just
They don't know that Hamas is just a terrorist organization that is hiding amongst civilians. They don't understand that a true genocidal nation wouldn't just carpet bomb the entire Gaza Strip. They don't understand that. And they refuse to acknowledge it. These people don't know. They do not think. They cannot think for themselves. They go on the X, right? They go like, oh my God, America's so bad. I'm going to retweet this. And then I'm going to go cry. And I'm going to go paint my hands red and go stand outside of a courthouse because I know nothing. And I want to broadcast to the entirety of the nation that I know nothing.
I don't want to take this as a hot take as it is, but I feel like you might agree with me on this one. When you consider BLM, right, and you consider those individuals who post like little black squares on their fucking Instagram pages as if they're making a difference, and you perceive those individuals who stain their hands red and they're flaunting around like, oh, we're pro-Palestinian, we don't want innocent lives taken. That's the same concept I get. You think you're making a difference, but at the end of the day, all you're doing is flaunting your ignorance. You have no idea what's going on in today's climate and today's society.
So, just keen difference, overall. Well, Hamas is just a terrorist organization that's trying to kill Jews. And BLM is just a activist group who's just trying to get money.
Right, but I'm trying
And that's it.
I'm trying to insinuate the lack of ignorance and the lack of knowledge within the actual
ignorance
movement.
all around in both of those support groups.
Precisely.
And honestly, they're probably both in the same.
But they think they're making a difference, but at the end of the day, they're fueling a fire of what the actual organization is trying to achieve.
And if we want to be truthful,
crazy?
these population numbers, they're small. It's only happening around, universities and campuses. The larger majority of the United States, I think the number's around 51%. I forget where the statistics are at, but more than less Americans actually support Israel.
Listen, yes, I do things with my hands, but I am listening. It's
You're
just the fact
blowing
that, yes, because I'm basically fucking autistic. You're laughing at me.
Yeah, in the Trump case,
Yeah,
news,
this
which
is fun
is
to hear about.
literally, Trump. He's just a dictator. He's a tyrannical dictator. He's gonna do things when he gets back in office. If he does, unless we lock him up for 700 years and 9 lifetimes.
I can't remember who it is. I remember.
I'm not done.
Listening.
I'm not done, bitch.
The court case is
Shut the
about
fuck up.
the
Listen
hush
here,
money
brother.
for
See, he can cut
the
you off.
porn actress.
So let's break down the case itself. So they had Stormy Daniels, a trustworthy person who was a ex-porn
I
star.
actually had something to say.
I know. It's okay.
And the case itself is about, what is it? Nothing to fucking do with her.
That's natural. That's like so natural.
The case is about this is just the ladder of
it's about
fuckery.
The misuse of campaign funds or something like that.
The ladder of fuckery is absolutely astounding. Yes, it's entirely about the misuse of campaign funds. So what the fuck is Stormy Daniels doing? Like, the prosecution is just shooting
pay
themselves in the
off
foot.
Stormy Daniels so that she wouldn't talk about an alleged
Her affair.
sexual encounter.
What does
with
that have to do
Donald Trump
with misappropriation of campaign funds? It has zero. It has zero things to do.
Absolutely zero.
Paid Stormy Daniels to not talk about her alleged sexual encounter with President Trump.
That has zero to do with campaign funds.
That wasn't with campaign funds.
That has zero to do with it.
That's the charge, is that they used campaign funds illegally to pay.
He made a
Stormy
in-kind
Daniels.
donation to his campaign fund, which is federally unlawful. And the fact that it's on the federal level makes you wonder why it's being prosecuted in state court. It has nothing to do with the actual misuse. It is the misappropriation of campaign funds. He's not supposed to donate to his own campaign fund. because that would mean any billionaire can go in there and just wipe out everybody else's competition.
Like you're talking about Bill Gates just pouring money into it, and
So
then it's just
them
like-
having Stormy Daniels on there is ridiculous. And then they bring Trump's former attorney in here. And again, they embarrass himself because it was
Michael
revealed
Cohen.
that he was embezzling tens of thousands of dollars from the campaign. It's literally hilarious. Again,
it doesn't achieve anything.
and guess what? Guess what's happening to Trump's poll numbers?
It's still going up.
They're still going up.
Still going up.
They are proving the point.
As much as I don't like Trump as a president right now, he's
They
still
are
the best
proving-
candidate. He's still the best candidate. I don't think I can see anyone else.
They are proving the point.
Apparently, Cohen admitted on the witness stand to stealing tens of thousands of dollars from Trump's company
Isn't that just magical?
through
What a genius.
embezzling money.
So he's a trustworthy character. Great.
So I was sort of following it when Trump was actually there and like doing a little bit of the research later a while ago. I loved listening to a news reporter who came back who was like in the trial, sitting there watching it. And he's like, yeah, I spent the entire day there and I still don't know what they're charging him for.
Yeah.
Like the
And that's
entire fucking
That's
day.
natural.
And they
like
still didn't know.
That's so blatantly
It's-
accurate of media. Is
like-
they will try to find something, even the most minuscule.
So no.
thing.
Don't misconstrue. The media isn't the one playing the game here. It is
No.
the New York court who is playing the games here, as well as every other court that he had a lawsuit in.
Sometimes I listen to radio news on the way to and from flight school,
And not the whole magazine podcast. Oh my god, you're a traitor.
The things
why
that
would I
he's
listen to
on.
things that have been
He's
a
been
part
here
of
for like most of them.
The things that he's on.
Yeah, so basically what they keep talking about this, but the judge in the case is like a big contributor to the Biden campaign. Like they've donated to the Biden campaign.
Yeah, and the judge in the the New York case literally vowed to take Trump down before being appointed Attorney General.
Isn't that insane? Like,
It is literally a conflict of interest.
when you focus on like an unbiased person.
If you've ever taken criminology or like criminal justice, it is the first thing they talk about. You want to get rid of jury members who show some sort of bias, right?
Yeah.
That's why things take
Precisely.
forever to get your jury.
That's like
and the thing that you
criminal
don't want your
justice
judge to
101.
say is that I will vow to take Trump down. And you're like, What?
I don't think you should be our
you
judge.
shouldn't say that, you fucking moron.
I
What
may
are
be
you
wrong
saying?
about how the courts work and everything, but if we have, let's say, 11 members of the jury say Trump is not guilty, but one refuses to say that he's not guilty and instead says guilty, or vice versa,
Yeah.
that becomes a mistrial.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then, but it's not a mistrial with prejudice, which means that
Yeah.
he can be tried again.
He can be retried.
So I
yeah.
do wonder if that would be the idea, is to keep him from campaigning until he becomes
Well,
the
you know what?
47th president, or
It's an idea of their
he was number
strategy.
46, so 48th president of the United States.
It's an idea of their strategy, but at the same time, they should see the polls and realize it's not working. It's working outside of their favor. It is literally working against them.
Imagine he gets elected president and then gets convicted of something and then just pardons himself.
He's like,
I don't. Well,
Gone.
I don't think
And
it
it's
really
gone.
would work. But
oh my god, he is just slamming shit with the fucking kid sleeping. What a fucking moron.
I don't know. You do remember that there is kids sleeping, right?
Dumbass.
If it helps, I can't hear it.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, shit.
Yeah. So we have
I did hear the audio clip earlier, though. I meant to say that.
We have these. What's up?
I could hear the audio clip earlier.
I jammed the volume all the way up, so that's how we.
yeah,
know
I
the
could hear it.
Sorry.
So these court cases that Trump is going through are just completely asinine. They're frivolous, and they are showing in the polls. American citizens are realizing this. They're seeing it, and they're like, "Wow, Trump is real bad news for the Biden administration." And in further development, I'm sure you all heard of the Biden's offer to debate Trump.
On CNN, which I'm sure is going to go
So
amazingly.
how it normally
I'm
goes.
sure it's going to be fair the what's it called, the moderator, completely fair.
That's for
It's not going to
Chef
be
Boyle.
any bias moderation at all whatsoever.
How it
on
normally
CNN.
goes, right, is you have a presidential debate commission who organizes the presidential debates. The issue is that, and the Biden strategy largely is most likely they want to keep Kennedy Jr. off of the stage.
We're talking about Robert here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They want to keep Bobby Kennedy off of that debate stage. Why? Because all the people who are voting Biden, they don't want to, right? That's why his fucking polling numbers are so shit. They don't want to have a normal presidential debate because if they do, they would likely have to have Bobby Kennedy on, and Bobby Kennedy would mop up all of those Biden votes.
Absolutely.
It would be too damn easy. Because given the two evils, Kennedy is way more, I don't know, present anywhere he is, right? He has the mental faculties, even though he is a Democrat, right, who has some Democratic ideals. He is a much better candidate for the Biden voters than Biden is now.
I'm trying to do this right.
And so the Biden strategy is, are you trying to do his awful voice?
I'm trying to do his voice.
No, please
You can
don't.
see me as Bobby Kennedy.
Oh, that was awful.
As Bobby Kennedy.
Yeah, well, you're nailing it.
But he
so-
definitely is more co-aligned with the president and
Right.
understanding
He's
what's
not
happening in the
fucking
current
dementia
landscape.
riddled. So
yeah, right.
I was gonna say,
With-
yeah, he's not like fucking
goes-
sick and dying.
So we
and
go
just
deeper.
Stupid.
We go deeper. So Biden's team, we're like, okay, so what we need to do is we need to have a presidential debate, but hella early. Hella early. So we can control all of it. We can set it all up. It could be with CNN, and all their moderators are going to be primed and ready to go, and they're going to do quote unquote really strict debate rules where they can cut people off at any time. And this can actually go really, really, really well for Trump if he shows some sort of like modicum of discipline and he stays calm.
To paraphrase the comedian Shane Gillis, Trump can't get in Biden's head. Biden's not in there.
I fucking love that. And unfortunately, it's basically true.
No, it
By the way,
is true.
another thing to talk about is that it may be illegal for Biden to be on the Ohio ballot. So the Republican governor has called a special session of their state legislature to change the law in Ohio so that they can put Biden on the
Wonderful.
ballot.
Of course they did.
But they can't agree on the bill because like all bills, you have to sneak other shit in there. So you can't just have a bill that says, "Hey, we want Biden on the
Despicable.
ballot."
Despicable.
So they're arguing about it. So it's very likely that, well, it's not very likely, but it is somewhat likely that Biden just isn't going to be on the Ohio ballot.
Wonderful.
President Biden, to be more formal.
Here,
I don't see anything wrong with
let's
that.
go.
My
Let's
family in
go.
Ohio is going to be happy.
Tier deeper, right? So we have Biden's plan. It's not Biden's plan. It's Biden's team's plan because he couldn't fucking formulate that
Right,
shit.
he couldn't sit there
So
and think
Biden's
about
team
it.
is saying, okay, what we got to do is we got to have this debate really fucking early. We have to rig the mandate, the moderators. We have to know the location. We have to rig everything. There cannot be any live audience because if there was a live audience, it would become super clear to watchers that Trump would be winning because Trump, he's a showman. He spent his entire career in waking life basically on TV. He knows how to work the crowd. We don't want Trump to be debating Biden with an audience because all the laughs and the giggles would be fucking terrible for Biden, right? If Trump remains
Just imagine the oohing from the crowd, basically.
Exactly.
When he said, "'Cause you'd be in jail."
yeah,
As-
or who built the cages, Joe?
As much as I hate to make this reference, if you guys are aware of the show series recently,
In the mic.
Smiling Friends, right? We're talking about Smiling Friends here, right? The recent animation, right? And we're talking about season 2.
Never seen it.
Right, but it's hilarious. So Charlie himself, he obviously discusses how much he despises politics. It's not his thing. And then we talk about how Pim, he wants to help the current president who is in office win the next electoral presidency and how he's running against another individual. And it shows the underlying corruption upon the media, right? So we talk about this thing as if it's a joke, but it's an actual thing. It might actually be a very thing that's present.
Well, just look at what Fox News did to Tucker Carlson. where you thought that,
that's not fair. Yeah.
Fox News are the good guys. They're the only good, reasonable news source out there for Republicans. And then they fire probably literally their most popular host.
Their best guy.
Because he said something
Their best guy.
about religion. How fucking dare he? Fire him. What idiots. Anyway, so Trump, we can't have him in front of a live audience because he would absolutely decimate Biden. If Trump remains calm and collected, I was going to say that Biden remained cool, but he's practically room temperature as it is. If Trump remains cool and collected, he has a very, very strong likelihood of winning this debate. He just throws the shithole, the
Biden
shit
would probably
sandwich,
get more votes
the
if he croaked
shit
on screen.
pie, the shit pie that Biden has made of our country, and he just keeps on throwing it back in Biden's face. Everyone knows what's going on now, and he just throws it back in their face, and that's all he says.
I mean, if no one is ignorant, they would realize that Biden's presidency has been flawed.
Well, a lot of people are waking up. That's why Trump's polling numbers are the way they are. A lot of Americans are like, we're fucking done. Now, why do it so early? Well, if they do it early enough, they can spend the next couple months doing damage control if Trump decimates Biden, right? So they can do and memory hole it as if it never happened, like they do with everything, right? Or, if it goes really well, then they could start playing repeats on all the news agencies about how great Biden did. And they can just repeat that, all the way up to election night.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, they did that last election anyway.
Yeah, they'll do the same exact thing again.
Even if Biden literally says nothing, it doesn't matter because most people aren't going to listen to the debate. They're going to read the headlines and be like, well, of course Biden won.
Yeah.
So that's how it goes
They're going to watch the
anyway.
fucking
It happened in
TikTok for you
2016
pages.
with Clinton.
Look at the little clips. They're not going to fucking acknowledge the obvious, blatant.
All Biden has to do now, and this is I forget what president it was who won. There's a big difference between doing debates in front of a bunch of rich people and then doing it in front of radio where you realize that people can't see you, so you may as well read off a teleprompter, to then doing it on TV.
Yeah.
And it's a big change. What I think will at some point be in the history books is when people stopped watching long form content, they started watching shorts. So making good sound bites is going to help.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
so-
what
I think
that's what
stated is
both
true,
sides
though.
are going to do is try to edit out things to
for
very
sure.
short responses, the Trump because you'd be in jail,
Yep.
who built the cages,
Who built the
that
cages,
kind of
Joe?
thing, to make sound bites to make into TikTok shorts, basically.
And
YouTube shorts.
and we're seeing it unfold. We will see how these quote unquote debates go. I'll probably looking forward to creating actually the whole magazine official Twitch channel so you can see some live content. And I'll be doing that before we hopefully that debate happens, and I'll watch
I will
that live.
cancel my
on
flying
air.
lessons that day. So
I will
can
watch-
watch the debate.
I will
yeah,
watch
sure you will,
I will
won't
watch
ya?
the debates live. And of course, the whole mag crew is welcome to join. We'll be watching that live on the Twitch. So yeah, be ready for that to drop. I will probably be making that after this episode then.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited.
Hopefully Twitch, because nowadays Twitch, you can practically be naked so long as you're a woman. You can practically be naked
I'm actually
on Twitch.
thinking about getting breast implants. How do y'all
No, that's
feel
your
about that?
Bungie.
They have literally
Whatever
like
his
They'd
name
make you
is.
money,
they have literally
They
like
pay
just
me money.
probably.
I think I
Tone-
would have like really good tits.
oh god, fuck you. They've literally just dialed back all of their like previous like standards and policies to where you can just be like there's
Except
now
for-
this
Well,
sexual
hey,
content.
You gotta remember, it depends
label.
on the creator though.
I think
Because
Do you know how if you like cuss or swear, you have to like there's this like disclaimer says watch anyway, like
Yeah.
warning, this is mature
Yeah.
content. Now there's a button you have to click to acknowledge sexual content.
I think I have really good tits. If I got like bigger tits, would you guys like follow me more on Twitch?
I would honestly
Or John,
swat your house
just-
every day.
You'd swap my house?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get double D's then.
Can he hear me?
Yes, he can hear
Yeah,
you.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Well, John, get
Yeah.
2 water balloons,
Okay.
tie a string onto either end, and put it under your shirt.
Do you
at
think
the
that would increase my
correct length
follower
that it
count?
looks like 2 tits.
Would that
You
increase
don't
my
even
follower
have to pay
count?
money for this.
Would I
They'll
like?
bounce up and down. The
Can I
boob
flash
physics
my vagina
with
so
water
that way I
balloons.
get follower count?
It is literally wild. But
I-
yeah, I'm gonna make that Twitch channel so that way we can watch that live. It is gonna be glorious.
I won't subscribe to it.
You
That's
should,
fine.
because I have tits.
Yeah. Anything else? You, Marcus, do you have anything else?
Big news in gaming: Elden Ring. Next DLC's the DLC, not next DLC. The DLC is coming out soon. Looking to be fucking amazing.
Super hype.
They've been spending a long time with it.
How big that news was.
That's gonna be great.
That's about medium-sized news.
That's huge news.
Elden Ring. Elden Ring. It's it
won Game of the Year, and people are
they
trying to
should be-
debate on the DLC itself winning Game of the Year for this year.
They
so
should be happy, that you can make
I think
a
it's a funny
copy.
thing. It probably won't happen, but
You can make the same game and still win awards. Well done.
It's a
hey,
fantastic
when
game.
something's got a story, it's got a story.
Well,
it can be
no, just like
entertaining.
the whole premise and why people
Which
play the
year
game.
did it win?
20
Two-hit kill.
2023 or 2022?
I think it was
I thought
22.
Baldur's Gate got 2023.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
you're
sure
right.
yeah,
So
2023 was Baldur's
22
Gate.
would be Elden Ring.
22
then.
is Elden Ring. Yeah,
You're right. You're right,
For
Walker.
some reason.
Yeah, you're right, Walker.
What do you mean?
Me personally, I don't feel like Shadow of the Erdtree should win Game of the Year. It is a DLC.
Well, yeah,
regardless.
it's just a DLC. I don't
Right.
see it doing that. I think
However,
the joke is that people saying it's
Yeah,
supposed to be that
I
good.
agree. The debate itself is ridiculous. At the end of the day, it is fantastic enough to be its own game, but at the end of the day, it's strictly a DLC. It cannot be up for contender for Game of the Year. It cannot.
No, it shouldn't. Shouldn't at all.
But the whole game could be up for Game of the Year again. Like, there's nothing stopping
Yeah.
it from
Oh,
yeah, that's true
I think,
as well.
the thing is, it's more of like a joke, I guess you could say, of it
Like,
being
if
able to win Game of the
Helldivers-
Year. But
If Helldivers doesn't win Game of the Year,
Helldivers is good if PlayStation would be
I
able
would
to
imagine you
an
want
election
Helldivers
fraud.
to be Game of the
I
Year. You
think-
democratic
I think-
piece of shit.
I think Helldivers could absolutely win the best multiplayer category.
It is
Definitely that.
fantastic.
Hands down.
I think-
Game of the Year material? No.
I'm a
so
huge
for Game of the
glazer
Year
for Lethal
awards and stuff, I
Company.
can definitely see Helldivers
they're
doing that.
only
But I think
halfway through the
PlayStation.
year. But at the same time, what else has come out this year that's a contender for Game of the
I
Year?
mean, I'm a huge glazer for Lethal
As
Company,
far
but
as-
at the end of the day, Helldivers
As far
is
as
just better.
indie game awards, probably Manor Lords.
Oh, yeah, you said Banner Lords?
Manor.
Banner Lords. Banner Lords been out for a while.
As far as like indie game awards, that could
Manor-
absolutely win.
I definitely heard of Manor Lords. Manor Lords is doing pretty solid.
Manor Lords
medieval
is
city builder game.
incredibly
it's
impressive.
not doing too bad.
Incredibly impressive from one person. Like
Yeah,
that's
it's doing really
really the most
solid.
impressive indie game I've seen.
My
We'll
friend
just
told
apply
me
the
about
streamer
it.
mentality to it. If that game more than a month old, it's dead game.
Yeah, right.
No, that's
How many people play it? 100,000? It's dead game. It's
Dead
more than a
game.
month old.
Dead
Unless
game.
it's
Yeah, but
Fortnite.
when you think of streamer mentality, the only games I heard of so far is the most recent one, Marvel. It's just Marvel's game, which is basically like Overwatch. It's not that appealing to me. It'll probably die
great.
in like 3 or 2 months.
Okay,
In my personal,
Hopefully.
Manor Lords seems like the kind of game that'll actually last longer because it'll have more in depth.
Single-player story-driven games can never truly die because it's not a live service game that requires other people to play it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
fair. That's fair. Yeah, because when you think about the Marvel game, like that's a game that's more focused on competitive gameplay. It will die a lot faster comparably to
Sonic
Manor
2
Lords.
for the Sega Genesis is not a dead game because it's a single-player game. You can play it any
I
time.
don't care who you talk to. Sonic 2 will never die. Okay.
on a note of movies, any neat movies you guys are looking forward to coming out?
I'm actually looking forward
Honestly-
to The Watchers.
Actually, no. I've not seen the
Recently,
modern
most
movie
of the
in a
movies
while.
I haven't
Yeah.
been happy with. Like, I
I mean,
nothing's like excited me.
The
What
Watchers.
movie, if I can give you a movie recommendation, The Girl Next Door.
I have to say, other than Dune 2, because my wife just got mad at me.
Dune
'cause
2
we went
was
to
a
the theater.
while
So
ago.
Dune was a good movie.
I guess,
I
yeah.
liked the soundtrack a lot.
Dune 2 is really good.
I've yet to
Seeing it
see
in the
Dune
movie
2.
theater with the surround sound.
Dune 2
Oh,
is
right.
really good. I love
amazing.
Dune 2. It's
Great
fantastic.
adaptation from the book. Phenomenal. I love it.
I've never heard of the Girl Next Door, but The Watcher looks really good. I think it's called The Watchers.
Is that like from Tolkien?
No,
or-
no, it's a horror film.
Oh.
And it looks pretty decent. I think it's Amanda Seyfried, and she looks like some fucking
Siegfried?
no Seyfried, 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 Amanda Seyfried. You'll know her
gross.
face when you look at her face, but it basically encapsulates a woman who's driving and she's like dating, and the dating doesn't work out, but she's driving with her fucking cat, and she ends up getting like driving through a forest, and the road goes fucking like it just disappears, and she's given a certain amount of time to enter this room with a door that's open, and basically it's a
sounds
bunch
gay.
of individuals. There's a bunch of individuals who are stuck inside a room, and
Is this like a Stephen King novel adaptation?
It sounds like it, right?
It probably is.
It sounds like it, right? But there are a
Doesn't
bunch of
sound like a great
individuals.
movie.
What was
stuck in
that
a room.
movie that we watched? It was you,
Hayes. I know what you're talking about.
It was the Nazi
Hang on,
movie.
I have it written down on my
We
notes on
have
my phone.
Another movie I haven't watched yet is the new Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, that sounds.
Oh,
That
no.
is
I haven't watched it.
fucking-
It's supposed to be really
Hold on,
good.
wait.
It's
I'm waiting
so
for-
good. It
Quiet.
has to be good.
It's
What was it called?
Brandon,
Kingdom-
Soft and Quiet.
Soft and Quiet.
Or,
Kingdom-
as my alternative title was, The Fuhrer's Least Competent Death Squad.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is the one that Mark is talking about. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It is.
Oh God.
I have
I
heard
just watched
great
the
things
original
about it.
1968 Planet of the Apes like 2 nights ago.
I'm telling you right now,
yesterday night, I
when
think.
you look at the Planet of the Apes franchise, you look at all of them. There's only one movie
They
that's
suck.
terrible. There's
Other than
only
the original.
No, there's only one movie that's terrible. If you look at all of them, there's only one that's bad.
No, literally all of them except for the original in 1968.
You're a son of a bitch. Only one of them are bad. You have
My
to.
mother was married.
What do you mean? I don't care what.
So yeah, Soft and Quiet. Yeah, I'm trying to look for more of those like absolutely fucking cringe movies.
I'm actually really looking forward to
told
that.
me-
There's also the Mad
Um,
Max movie, the new
Yeah,
the
Furiosa.
whatever.
Guess how much
I'm
it
not
made
gonna
this
watch
weekend.
that.
Guess
Hold
how
on,
much
hold
it
on,
made
hold
this
on.
weekend. Guess how much?
What?
61 million, around 37 million, maybe somewhere.
Do you know
around
what the
that mark.
cringiest movie ever
What?
created is?
One that has a main female
While You Were
protagonist.
Sleeping, starring Sandra Bullock. I could not finish it.
First
My
of all-
wife and my mother-in-law fucking love this
That's
movie.
not a current
And I
movie that's in
became-
development. So-
I became physically violent
Okay. All right.
to my surroundings because
So-
of how bad this movie is.
I would
Okay.
like to touch base on what Marcus said. Furiosa made very minimal amount in the box office this weekend, and a lot of people were hyping it up to make a lot of money, but it did not. And it's because of the reprisal between Max Fury Road. Max Fury Road made so much more money, but Furiosa made so little. And it's because of the concept of, oh, people are watching Max Fury Road. No, people are not Max Fury Road. Fury Road is fantastic. But when you talk about Furiosa, it may have gotten mad advertisement, but at the end of the day, it's not making a lot of money. And it goes back to how much individuals are actually going
Nobody
to
wanted
movie
to
theaters.
see a main protagonist be a female.
No,
So-
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying not everyone wants to go to
Apparently,
movie theaters and watch the movies.
in the wake of probably the worst Tolkien. Sorry, I threw up a little bit. Adaptation or interpretation,
Oh.
whatever it is.
This is probably
The
gonna
Rings
go-
of Power.
Rings of Power. I knew it was going to
Yeah.
go down this road. I knew it was going to go down this road. I knew it.
Rohan has heard the call, and Peter Jackson is coming back.
Oh, really?
With Andy Serkis.
It's too
For
late.
the
They
show
ruined it.
series? Are you
They
Uh,
ruined
serious?
it. It's too late.
to do another bit of Tolkien. It is going to be let's see, Peter Jackson.
There's no way, right? Like, actually? No. So me personally, I despise the Rings of Power.
So
I
there's a
despise
new
them.
Lord of the Rings movie coming in 2026, which is gonna be called The Hunt for Gollum.
I genuinely hate the
It's-
Rings of Power.
So actually, Peter Jackson is
understand-
producing it, and then Andy Serkis is directing it.
Really?
I'm.
Andy
It's very
Serkis
good.
directing.
I can't wait for Gollum impressions to be in again.
I know, right?
I've been stuck on Borat for the longest time. I need to
I know. We need to reset. We need to go back to tradition.
So I know Rings of Power has already won a bunch of nominations.
Why?
I don't know why. I seriously
I guess
wish
to
I
be
could
fair-
argue why.
Here's what-
To be fair, you
because
don't
it's-
have to be
it's a
canon
good
to
old
earn
boys club
awards.
I
where
wish
it doesn't
our-
matter how good or how successful your media is, as long as you're part of the right club, you will get awards.
But that's
True.
the problem.
You know what it is?
It's
It was
such a
that they
bad-
had all of the black hobbits.
But it's such a bad series. I don't understand how people genuinely enjoy this. I don't
care if the
like
hobbits are
it.
black, but it is a shitty fucking show.
It's
They
so bad.
destroyed
I
everything.
was so mad about the fucking horsey scene.
You know what's
It's
crazy?
just like the world's going to shit, but there's 10 minutes dedicated to her riding a fucking horse, and
You know
she's
what-
just happy.
You know
'cause
what
fucking
should
horsey.
receive nominations? Fallout series.
Oh,
The
I
Fallout-
heard that Fallout is
Fallout
doing
series-
very
It's
well.
supposed to
so
be-
And
good.
it's doing really
It's
good.
doing fantastic. And worst of all, who's
I
talking
don't know,
about
man.
who?
4chan was pretty unhappy.
Was that
with
you,
it.
Walker? Who talked
Shin
about?
was pretty
Were
unhappy.
you talking about Shane Gillis?
I was talking about Shane Gillis.
Shane
earlier, or
Gillis
at least I
has his
paraphrased him.
own original series on Netflix right now. It is called Tires. And before an episode even released, they already reprised
Real
the season
G.
2. So I sat down, right, knowing me, being a movie buff and show series buff, right? So I sat down and watched Tires on
Just as he's
Netflix.
also a history buff.
It is fucking fantastic. I love the show series Tires. It stipulates on edgy humor, dark humor. It goes as far as to even say the F word. And I'm talking like FAGGOT word. You're looking at the show series right now and you're like, oh, this is so not for me. No, it's a good show series. It's fucking funny. It goes as far as to fucking
If you think it's okay to say the F word, you're a bad liberal.
No, it's a good
And
show.
a bad Catholic.
Walker, I am telling you right now, go on Netflix tonight, watch Tires with Shane
I don't have
Gillis.
Netflix. I don't have it.
It is so funny, dude. And they already reprised the
I
season
only
2.
consume media by looking through my neighbor's
No,
window.
Walker, I'm
And
telling
seeing
you
what they're
right now,
watching.
Yeah,
you
a lot
as
of pay-per-view form.
when I think of
I have a $50 parabolic microphone
when
and
I
a
think
set of
of
binoculars.
Walker as an individual, I think, oh yeah, he would love the show series Tires. Watch it. I'm telling you right now, you'll love it. You too.
You know what it
too,
is? It's
watch
just
it.
a
You're gonna
shitty...
forget about it after I
Tires
hang
just
up on
sounds
this
like a-
Discord call.
Tires
No,
just
don't.
sounds a documentary that fucking Goodyear made.
It's so good. I'm telling you right now, it's hilarious.
Sounds like every
Watch
single military
it.
member waking up in the
Watch
morning.
it. I'm telling you.
Oh
it's-
yeah, Tires sounds really fucking great. I
It's
can't wait.
so funny, bro.
Is this
I-
a sequel to Cars?
They couldn't find a
Don't
better
make
title.
jokes
was
about it.
actually
I'm telling
Planes.
y'all, it's funny as
They
That,
fuck.
that was planes.
I'm telling y'all, it's
They
so
couldn't-
funny.
And then
Find another title.
Cars 2 and Cars 3.
You guys are assholes.
Cars
bro.
3 made me mad. Can we talk about Cars 3?
Yeah, we
no,
can
we're
talk
not
about
talking about
Cars.
Cars 3. Cars 3 was a
Cars 3
masterpiece.
pissed
Cars
me
2
off.
is
I saw it in
terrible.
theaters. It pissed me
Movies
off.
movies will be our last topic. Cars. Yeah. I don't like
They
planes.
ruined
1
it,
and
dude.
2 is pretty good.
Planes
3
was
is
also
get-
bad.
No,
You,
2
you
is
go
terrible.
from racing. All right,
Two's
you go
kinda-
from racing to fucking
Two's not
like
good as 1,
you know,
but
2
right
is
in between.
bad. 1
learning
is
that,
good.
like,
3 is good.
fucking some girl in the
Yes.
country isn't horrible. You can live in
Cars
the country.
3
It's
is
fine.
fantastic.
To an international spy thriller. To I'm too old and frail. Here, take my legacy. Like fuck off. Why
Cars-
can't he be fast?
Cars
he is
3.
speed.
No, he's not
He is
speed.
speed.
He's old. He's getting old. Have you not heard of
He
Jeff?
is
Too
speed.
passionate over a fucking kids movie.
What about Jeff Gordon? He
Planes.
retired.
Planes was a desperate attempt to reclaim a franchise.
Planes was terrible. We don't talk about planes.
Dude,
Cars 3
fucking
was
Cars,
good.
World War
Next.
II.
Coming.
Just imagine a fucking bunch of Willys Jeeps going at it.
in 2070.
good. He said Cars 1.
2070.
The fact that Planes was just like, oh yeah, here's a bunch of fucking people exploding.
Coming
Like
2027.
you can't
boats.
call Planes a kids movie when they show like actual combat scenes and people fucking exploding.
2027. Here comes boats, and then 2030. I'm gonna release a new film
Trains.
called Trains.
UAVs.
And then next, I'm gonna make another film called RC Cars. And then 2040, RC Planes. It's like Toy Story and Cars put together.
No, but I feel like I wanted to touch.
I already
base
did that in the shorts after the movie.
Back to what you were saying for like movies to look forward to. I definitely feel like The Watchers is something.
I'm only looking forward
I do
to Deadpool
feel like
and Wolverine.
that's something interesting
Deadpool
and something a
Wolverine.
little. Different.
That's one that I definitely.
That's the only one I know is
talking about-
coming out this
You talking
year.
about Deadpool?
That's the only movie
and
name I
Wolverine?
know.
Deadpool 3?
Are you?
Yeah. What
here?
the fuck else am I talking about?
No, because I thought you were
Deadpool
talking about the
Wolverine.
video game about Insomnia.
The one where
No.
we mentioned the hypothetical because Dune came out with their Dune popcorn covers.
I
We
wanna
came up with the
fuck those.
hypothetical. There was the
I want to stick
hypothetical.
my dick so far in those. Like actually,
Okay. So there's
Yeah,
the
what,
hypothetical
the fucking half an inch
Wolverine
that you have.
There's the hypothetical Wolverine
find a
cover
way.
popcorn things and the Deadpool ones where it's just his face.
first of all, Deadpool 3 is gonna be fantastic.
Is Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool? They can't switch the. It would
Of
never
course.
work.
Of course.
It
Oh,
would never work.
shit.
He took the suit home. Like
Fuck you! You just brought up another point.
How
So
would
we-
you
My
do
wife
that in
has
the mic?
informed me
Have
that I
you
have
both
to be
seen the
excited
Netflix
for
series,
the
The
sequel to
Witcher?
Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
there is a Beetlejuice
Oh,
sequel. I
shit.
forgot about
Beetlejuice,
that.
Beetlejuice. Just called
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Don't say it. Said it like 5 times.
Twice is just Beetlejuice.
If you say it, if you never
I'm
stop
sorry.
saying it,
Beetlejuice.
If you
Beetlejuice,
never
and then
stop
you say
saying
That's
it,
words
great.
then you haven't
No,
said it
that's
3
awesome.
times.
That's awesome.
It's
Is
just
it
Beetlejuice.
who's
Win-
the cast?
Winona Ryder.
Nice.
Fuck. What's the other bitch's name?
Wow.
The one
If
who-
you say Beetlejuice 3 times and he shows up, can
Stop.
you fuck him?
I'm talking about the woman who was in
Just
Wednesday.
ask him. He'd probably be down for
Who's
it.
the one in Wednesday? The one who played in Wednesday.
I don't know.
The teenager.
Wednesday.
Stop.
Wednesday?
Thursday.
It's not Winona Ryder. She's
It's not Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder's already in it.
It's like-
Wednesday cast.
she's way older.
She is. She is.
I know who you're talking
I
about,
know
but
who
I
he's
don't know the
talking
name
about, too.
because I
Jenna
don't care.
Ortega.
Yeah.
Jenna Ortega and Winona Ryder, and then obviously a little bit of the original cast is something for Beetlejuice.
Natalie Portman should be in there, shouldn't she?
What?
Is she not in the original?
Let me
No, she
look.
was not.
For
she
Beetle-
not?
You
Was
talking
it
about-
Winona Ryder?
Yeah.
Yes, it's Winona Ryder.
Yes. Alec Baldwin.
I'm not a
was in
huge
that, wasn't
fan.
he?
It's Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Right.
Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder.
He confuses me with
Monia
Alec Baldwin.
Bellucci. Jenna Cor-
Honestly.
Oh, William Defoe is supposed to be in Beetlejuice.
Not William. It's Willem. I just watched him die in Vietnam for the second time tonight when I watched
I'm
Flight of the
Walker. I
Intruder.
know how to pronounce cast member names.
Okay. That is going to be it for this
By
episode.
the way, the sequel to Joker is coming out,
Oh
This
yeah,
year,
with
too.
Lady
Oh.
Gaga.
Oh,
and
that's-
Joaquin Phoenix still. So yeah. Anyway,
Joaquin-
that's it.
Joaquin Phoenix, as you want to correct me on Willem Dafoe. It's Joaquin Phoenix, you son of a bitch.
Okay.
I had to mispronounce the Hispanic name.
Yeah, fuck you.
All right. Thank you all,
Okay,
ladies
stop.
and gentlemen, for joining me on episode 47 and these fine folks. Make sure you check out the website, check out the Facebook, and have a good one.